Alright, so before I even start the story off, right, do you remember this couple right here? Let me show you the picture so to drag your memory. And remember the discussion that we had on this channel, and I labeled that video, "Be careful who you file for and bring come foreign." Y'all remember that? Alright, well, the situation that happened with this couple has happened again in a even worse manner. Yeah man, Jamaican people same way. Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. This one is going to be a bumpy ride. Hang on tight. Alright, so the face of this man that you're looking at right here, I want you to look at the face very well. Alright, because as I go through this story, I want you to keep that face in mind. And if you see this face anywhere, just know, say what? Call for some help, because that's something you're not good. Alright? And a human, you know, that's something you're not good. I'm going to read an article out of Miami, Florida, and give you the whole rundown on this story right here. I don't know what it is with Jamaican men. It seems like they're having a problem letting go. Like when the woman them say them gone or them want cut. It's like the man them believes say they must cut up everything. So the family right now is saying that this man right here is a monster, right? Because he did what we would think is the unthinkable. And guess what was the tool of choice for this piece of work? Yes, a farmer's tool, right? In Jamaica, you see man walk down the road with a machete all the time. For those of you who don't know what machete means, is machete. The long blade, the long sharp blade. So the story went like this. They reside in Miami Gardens, Florida. The resident, Noel Chambers, is his name. That man right there is wanted right now for 2 counts of murder. 1 count of attempted, also after his wife and minor daughter were both found dead. So the wife and the minor daughter were both found dead. And his adult daughter was found wounded. Now you're going to be very surprised, or maybe not too surprised, about the reason why he did it, but we're going to talk about that in detail also. Now I have the pictures here of the individuals involved, the wife, the young daughter, which are both deceased at the hands of daddy, and the older daughter who managed to get away. The pictures are going to start to come up right now. So first we're going to start with the 29-year-old daughter, and here she is. And she managed to get away. Alright, because his intent was to make sure that everybody get it. The man must have been in such a fit of a rage, people. You're wondering why I started this video out saying be careful who you file for and bring a foreign? Pay attention, man. Pay attention, because it gets real. And we warn people, but for some reason, I don't know. So here is wifey to my left. Beautiful Jamaican sister. And here is the daughter. Now of course she's a minor, so I covered up her face. Although she is no longer with us, she is gone home to the Most High, to that place in the sky. But I covered her face. Alright. Now the story goes like this. A few days before Loris Harris is this woman right here. A few days before, her and her younger daughter were brutally chopped up in their apartment. She told her husband of 10 years that their marriage was ending. Family members said at an emotionally charged press conference in Miami Gardens yesterday at the headquarters, which was on Monday. So the family has already gone to the headquarters in Miami Gardens, police headquarters, and they've done a press conference. They're, you know, when you go in front of the camera and you beg, anyone who's seen him, please call so and so, and we're pleading to you also. Please, if you're watching this, just turn yourself in, that kind of thing. The family has gone ahead and done that, right? What we get from this so far is that they were married for 10 years. So a 10-year marriage ended like this. I always say this, men, when a woman marries you, right, or starts to date you, what part of that turned into something like this? I'm trying to wrap my head around this. That part right there. That part right there. So we believe the trigger was that she wanted a divorce from him, said Harris' brother, Ernie Saunders. This is her brother saying his sister wanted a divorce from this man. She asked for a divorce, and they believe that that was the trigger. So on Saturday, police responded to a call about a possible assault at Harris' Miami Gardens apartment, encountered a scene that even hardened detectives called gut-wrenching, because this is what they found. On the back porch, they found Harris, which is the woman I just showed you again. On the back porch, they found her mutilated by a machete. And in a bedroom inside the apartment was also found the 10-year-old daughter, Shayla. Both were chopped up by the same weapon. Another daughter, Shauna Lee Chambers, a 29-year-old, she survived the assault and she was hospitalized. But she's hospitalized in critical condition. So this man's, these are his children, his blood children. One woman gave him 2 kids, and because that woman said, I want to leave, bye-bye, I can get a divorce, this is not working out, a machete came into play, and his intention was to make sure that they all exited this life. Let me just say this before I go any further. I don't think somebody like this is going to be found alive. I hate to say it, but I hope him find a big dose of Guamazone and chug it. Yeah? It's I don't know. I mean, you look at your kids and do this to them? A 10-year-old even. So the police quickly named the suspect, which is Harris' husband, whose name is Noel Chambers. He's 57 years old. People describe him as a very big guy, a hulking man. Hulking. The word hulk is used to describe him. Now if you know Hulk, the little man will turn angry and get big and green. And he's known as a hulking man who is known to friends in Jamaica and Miami by the nickname Massive. You know in Jamaica when we make up name, if your friend really dark skin, we say blacker. If your friend really fat, we say fat man or fattest. Or big man. If you tall and big, a big man or tall man, right? Well, I can only imagine how big he was in stature to be called Hulk or hulking and be known as Massive. Alright? I'm painting that picture for you. Walk with the picture. So police across the region and federal authorities have combined in search, but this man still has not been spotted since the incident. Police said that they are concerned that he may even return to Jamaica. A reward for his capture and his conviction has been set at $3,000. Now don't get me wrong, black life is very cheap. $3,000. People just file income tax. They're not even worried about $3,000. They're gonna have to find somebody who are hungry and stranded out there who really want some $3,000, or somebody that have a good heart. Needless to say, this guy is probably hiding with people that knows him, that he trusts as friends. He has someone who he can look at and say, boy, I don't know what, me no me snap, or give them a different version of the story. The girl did this to me and that to me and me just snap, and gain their sympathy enough for them to hide him from the law. With this puny reward for his capture, I don't know, man. Anyways, the police said that when Chambers is caught, he will face 2 counts of first-degree murder and another count of attempted murder. Needless to say, if he is caught, he is never getting out of prison in the United States of America. He's 57 years old already. And with each count of murder, plus attempted murder and a murder of a minor, I'm pretty sure he'll be locked away for life. They might probably even push for the death penalty, I am betting. So on Monday afternoon, after receiving a tip during the press conference, police were searching for Chambers because somebody said they saw him look like he's staying over at this abandoned building. It was an abandoned hospital at Northwest 7th Avenue and 173rd Street near Topgolf. You never been to Miami, you don't know where that's at. The information of the address probably means nothing to you. But just a few blocks away from where Harris and her daughter met their demise at the hands of this man. So in other words then, they were saying that he didn't get very far. I'm personally thinking that this was just information to throw them off, so while they're looking over there, he can get further down the road, if you know what I mean. So early Monday at the police department, heartbroken and angered family members begged anyone with information to please come forward. Police chief, who's also a woman, so you know, says sympathy is there. And I'm going to tell you something. Florida is also known as a woman's state. And I'll explain that to you at another time, or probably in another video if I forget to. But ask anybody who lives in Florida. Police Chief Delma Noel Pratt and Mayor Oliver Gilbert spoke directly to Chambers and anyone who might be assisting him, promising that he'd be captured and that those helping him would also face charges. So anybody that's helping him, they're going to be looked at as just as guilty as he is. I would hate to be the person that's trying to hide this guy and end up in a big pot of hot water for someone like this. First of all, I would even be scared to have someone like this around me. How could you sleep both eyes closed and comfortable knowing that this individual is in your house and you're hiding in there? No, sir. I don't care if I'm a brother. I don't care if it's my sister, my blood. We just couldn't stay in the same house. Even if I was gonna hide you, you're gonna have to go hide somewhere else. So, if you did this, they said, there is no place for you to hide, said the mayor. You are not one of us. It's a matter of humanity. This cannot be allowed to stand. He has to be caught, they said. Chief Noel Pratt said, if you are knowingly harboring this guy, then you are just as bad as him, and we're going to treat you just as bad as him. We're going to look at you as someone just as bad as him. And we'll run the pictures one more time, because here's the picture of his daughter, which is 29 years old. And a picture, of course, is going to run right now of the wife again and the daughter. These two in this picture met their demise, and the one before, she survived. Family members said that Harris, a 49-year-old home care nurse, went to Jamaica about a decade ago to marry Chambers. This is the part of the story I wanted you to hear. She went to Jamaica 10 years ago to marry this man and helped him by filing for him, setting up his paperwork to be straight, and brought him to the USA. The two had been living in Miami Gardens in an apartment in the 600 block of Northwest 177th Street with their daughter Shayla. They said that before the killings they hadn't noticed any sign of physical abuse towards her by Chambers, although at times he was controlling and sometimes he tried to isolate her from her family members. Now, people, listen. At times he was controlling and he tried to isolate her from her family members. You see, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. That's abuse. Why would you want to isolate a woman from her family members? That's because you have ill intentions for her and you don't want those closest to her to know what you're doing to her. Dry cut, plain and simple. Why else? Right? But see, our people are trained a certain way, geared a certain way. So they didn't see him isolating her from her family members, him being jealous and all that, and controlling as abuse. Women, it is abuse. Run. Take up your 2 foot them in your hand and dip. Alright? So the tension, according to Harris' middle daughter, Ashley Anderson, who in part responsible for a year-long rift between Harris and her mother, they had only recently reconciled their differences. She said Harris was killed just before midnight Saturday on her birthday. Her mama said, you plan to kill her on her birthday? Speaking directly to Chambers. To come home and be killed after a good day of having fun and celebrating your birthday. Please, just give up yourself. If he can do that to his own daughter, his own wife, this man is not a man, is not human. This man is a monster. Alright? Now people, There's only so much we can say, and there are so many reasons why people stay in these abusive relationships and make excuses for people who are abusing them, right? Oh, he's only controlling. Oh, she's only that way sometimes. No, abuse is abuse, alright? And the first dose of it you get, I'm going to tell you again, run, because it can escalate, and it will escalate. Whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 8 years, or in this case, 10 years later. She brought her own killer all the way from Jamaica, married him, filed for him, and this was her end, not only of her, but also her 10-year-old daughter. Leave your comment in the comment section below and tell me what you think about this one. It's SouFLoTV, man. I'm out. Peace.